Ketchup. 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 Oh, I'm in way over my head.
So, Premier Sports are back. Let's talk about it. Premier Sports have agreed to buy back their UK business from Viaplay, despite selling it to the Swedish company less than 18 months ago. Viaplay joined the long line of companies like ITV Digital, Setanta, and 11 Sports that tried and failed to break into the UK market. This obviously poses some questions. Why is this happening? What went wrong for Viaplay? What will change? And most importantly, is it good or bad for Scottish football? Why is this happening? Well, if you've missed the news, in the past 12 months, Viaplay's total business has been hemorrhaging cash. Don't worry, I'll get into the details later, but basically they're exiting all their markets except from the Netherlands and the Nordics. Their UK business has been caught in the crossfire. To be honest, was performing quite well, relatively speaking. But anyway, we need to go a bit deeper, and to do that, we need to talk about what actually happened. Remember 2022? It was a strange year. Jack Ross was Dundee United manager, Liz Truss was Prime Minister, and Viaplay bought Premier Sports, the Irish broadcaster which had Scottish Cup, League Cup and rights to Scotland's Euro 2024 qualifiers. They also had the rights to the United Rugby Championship, fans of Edinburgh and Glasgow if you like that sort of thing. And it was a decent deal, they paid 30 million for it. Premier were debt free, generating a small profit, and while having a decent subscriber base of 220,000. Viaplay had already secured the rights to 2026 World Cup and Euro 2028 qualifiers, as well as some other stuff. They were keen to launch in the UK market, having been a stalwart of Nordic broadcasting for years and having a strong presence in the Netherlands and Poland after recent expansions there, focusing on F1 and Speedway. So in November last year, they rebranded Premier Sports to Viaplay. Other than a superior streaming service, there wasn't much change. They subsumed the staff and even kept their premises in Dublin. So what went wrong, you might ask? Well, Viaplay's international expansions backfired massively. The group lost nearly £500 million in the second quarter alone of 2023, not for the whole year, but just for 3 months, which is just absolutely insane. Just think about how much money that is. The third quarter results were due on Wednesday, but have been pushed back for the second time to allow the group to continue talks with its largest shareholders. But as a publicly traded company in the Swedish Stock Exchange, you can see how they're faring is a good gauge for how the company is doing. It's not great. The stock price resembles that of my eToro account when I started reading posts on Wall Street Bets. It's been a mess at a corporate level, including boardroom drama, a massive bailout from a number of conglomerates including Canal Group, and massive layoffs. So with this economic backdrop, in July they announced they would exit the UK market in order to focus on their core Nordic business, but with rights until 2028 they would have to try and partner or sub-license rights to other broadcasters. Now, as I said a minute ago, their UK business was actually not doing too badly. They inherited a strong position from Premier and hadn't spent too much extra on rights. So Premier, who still operated an Irish business, basically did a Mr. Burns and bought back the UK business from Viaplay, probably for significantly less than the 30 million that they paid for it. It brings us back full circle, so let's just imagine the past 16 months never happened. I don't know what Viaplay's legacy will be. The shift in coverage from Premier was definitely more evolution than revolution, but they definitely added something different to the Scottish football broadcasting landscape. I know it was a bit divisive, but personally I was a big fan of the branding, especially the score bug in the middle of the screen. Just added something a bit new. Aesthetics aside, there was definitely something special about their Scotland coverage. Now, we can sit back and debate whether games should be free to air or not, but you can't doubt that there was real effort put in by the team behind the camera. Now, maybe that was combined with a sensational campaign, but the coverage genuinely was really good. That's partly because they actually spent money on it. Viaplay sent their full crew to Oslo and Seville for Scotland's 2 key away games, something that neither Sky nor the BBC did when they had the rights. Sky opted to do the commentary off Tube in London, and the coverage was sometimes shared between Scotland and the other home nations. With moments like Hamilton and Stewart going absolutely tonto in Oslo, that Connie McLaughlin-Rodri interview, both Jan-Ange Fjørtoft and Gillian Balagui's guest punditry, I felt like the first time in a while Scotland games were done with the level that you'd hope and expect for. Basically, Premier, just keep the band together please. There were issues obviously. Domestic cup coverage, Old Firm Lovin' was a bit much, and it feels like a bit of a meme at this point, although Premier were just as guilty of that. The fact we know that Celtic versus Buckie and Dumbarton versus Rangers will be their cup picks is just disappointing at this point. Domestically as well, the coverage felt quite stripped down, especially for their group stage League Cup coverage, which in particular felt very basic. So what changes with Premier Sports coming back? Well, to be honest, nothing much in the short term. Premier will relaunch in early 2024 and will take over 2 of the free channels they had. The Viaplay Extra channel will be ditched by the sounds of it. They're currently working on launching a new streaming service, which I suspect will be ready in time for the March internationals, which is really the only time they need the extra capacity. Apart from that, it's still quite early to say anything concrete. Hopefully the news means that everyone who works on Viaplay in the UK keeps their jobs, and hopefully all their freelancers and production staff will be safe as well. As for subscribers, it sounds like your Viaplay subscription will be honoured as a Premier subscription, so hopefully that's one less thing to worry about. And the most important question, is this good or bad for the cinch? I saw a lot of criticism online of the SPFL and the SFA, which felt quite unwarranted, to be honest. They both agreed right deals with Premier back in 2018, not Viaplay, and for all their commitments fulfilled and all their payments paid. Side note, for those in the back, Scotland matches are sold by UEFA, not the SFA. How many times do I have to say this? Anyway, it's probably good news. The SPFL, to their credit, have been quite relaxed about the whole thing, as Viaplay had paid their League Cup rights fees a year in advance, which is worth about £2.5 to £3 million a season. Those rights run through 26-27 season, so the SPFL will be happy they don't have to go out to tender again for those. There's also 2 packages of 10 matches available in the Premiership from next season, which would be perfect for Premier to pick up for around £3 million each. It would help boost the TV deal and go a long way to ditching that Glasgow-centric tag that they have, as those matches feature mostly the other 10 clubs. The Scottish Cup deal runs out at the end of this season, and we're yet to hear too much about the tender process for the next deal, as that's all handled by IMG. Currently, Viaplay/Premier and the BBC split the £4 million deal between them, with £2.5 million coming from Viaplay and the other £1.5 million coming from BBC. So, what's going to happen? Probably not too much. It feels very much like a like-for-like swap. Let's just hope that Scottish football is sold for more than a box of chocolates. Happy SPFL watch. Thanks for watching.